Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Academy Bytes. My name's Zetron and today we're going over a mapping technique I use quite often and still to this very day. It's called mirrored sliders. This is one of those pattern types that's very simple to use and has tons of uses. We'll go over some examples of where and how to use this pattern and how to create it. That being said, let's get right into this. Okay, now you can see I have the editor open and we're about to do our first mirrored slider. But where are these things really good to put at? Well, that being said, one of the best places to place mirroring sliders is sections that have a lot of repeating beats in the song. So if you hear any type of melody that, makes the same type of sound, that's about where you want to put it. And as you can see here, I'm making my first slider shape, and this is what we're going to use for the bass. We can go ahead and remove the excess notes that I had placed there to let me know where the timing was, and then we'll just copy and flip this. And now you can see we have it copied. Let's go ahead and flip. After we've flipped, you can see that they are mirrored now, but they look a little bit on the rough side. So what we'll do is we're going to make slight adjustments here to make sure that the pattern is symmetric and plays nice. Once we've done that, I will go ahead and let this pattern play out so you can hear it yourselves and you can go ahead and kind of get an idea of what I was doing. Alright, and as you can see, those first sections did go ahead and play decently. And now I'm going to show you another sense of mirrored sliders here in just a second. I will kind of mess around with the DS here as I didn't actually adjust it properly beforehand, so I was kind of wondering why all my things were distance snapped so far. I will make slight adjustments to that and then you'll see me start to set up another pattern. But we will just use these notes as a guide as we are going to continue to create mirrored sliders here. What we will do is we will use a center axis and we can take the 4 and the 5 and the 5 and the 6 and turn those into mirrored sliders. So going from the 4, we'll start with our first curve. Remember, if you're doing it small and they're long, there you go. You can set it like that and we'll get that down there. That is our first curve there. And then 5 and 6. We can mirror this perfectly. Now, of course, with the mirroring of sliders, sometimes you will come into situations where the distance snap and everything isn't exactly as you would plan. There are simple fixes to this. As you can see right now, that's kind of a large jump. How do we take care of that large jump without that being ridiculous? Is quite simple. While the slider is mirrored, we can change the direction of how it is. So we will go ahead and reverse the direction of that, making 4 and 5 much more fluent. As you can see, there's not as big of a gap anymore, but the sliders are still in fact mirrored. Another thing we can do to fix this as well and give it a little tone up is to go back. We'll let it play through real quick. And that makes quite a decent pattern, if I do say so myself. There is one thing I would like to change, and I'm going to go ahead and look at that now. And as you can see, the main thing I want to go ahead and change is right now 4 is kind of overlapped by the 2 of the previous one. I don't like that personally, so what we'll do is we can actually just go ahead and flip this completely. And now it's not going to be faded in nearly as bad, and the pattern looks nice. This is just one way that mirrored sliders can help you out. I'll go ahead and play this one more time so you can go ahead and hear it all finished out. Alright, and that is some examples of mirrored sliders. Now, what I can also do is I'm going to go ahead and show off another difficulty that I created at a later date. And this one uses quite a few mirrored sliders as well. Let's see if you guys can kind of point out some of the mirrored sliders here and see how I use those in that map set. So let's save this real quick, and then we'll go ahead and switch right over to the Insane. Now the Insane is fully mapped, hit sounds and all. So I'm just going to be playing this one through for just a little bit as a demonstration of what's going on. And let's see how this looks. Okay, so now that we're into the Insane and we're looking through it, you can see that there are mirrored sliders in a lot of these patterns. Other times, it's completely mirrored patterns. Mirroring sliders and patterns together to make map sets is totally okay, and is not really that bad. Some people might consider it a little bit on the lazy side, but with proper execution, you can make quite a fun and enjoyable map that uses symmetric and clean patterns, like so. Anyways, I hope this has kind of explained a little bit on how to use mirrored sliders when creating patterns, as it's not really too hard to use. Just remember when creating mirrored sliders to try to use repeating rhythms in the song. If there's repeating sections, you can probably get away with mirrored sliders. Try using those with your other patterns and creating all kinds of awesome combinations. Alright, and that's going to be about all there is for this one, guys. That's pretty much all there is to mirrored sliders. Do you guys still use patterns like this? And what type of mapping patterns do you enjoy? Stay tuned to the OS Academy for more mapping techniques, videos, and updates. And remember, rhythm's only a click away.